Without realizing it, our minds project onto our direct experience of reality, and we judge experiences, we judge ourselves, we judge others through this lens of the mind, through our conditioned beliefs, values, opinions, and stories that we tell ourselves. And no story about life can amount to the reality of life itself. And when you realize this, when you're able to see that no description, no concept can truly convey the truth of reality, then we can let go of our fixed positions, we can let go of the stories we tell ourselves, and we can allow ourselves to be open to whatever it is that arises in this moment. So I'd love to invite you to just notice how frequently the mind is projecting some story, some belief, or some judgment onto this direct experience. And see what happens when you let go of the story. See what happens when you just experience life fully in this moment, without judging it, without interpreting it in some way or trying to fit it into some intellectual box, but just remaining open, present, and aware. When you let go of the stories, when you let go of the fixed positions, the fixed beliefs that we have, then a deeper awareness awakens within us. We start to be aware of what is happening in the world, in reality within ourselves, and we are open to whatever it is that comes, rather than trying to immediately define it, classify it, grasp it intellectually, or hold on to it in some way. We can just let it be, and we can really look at it without having this filter of conditioned beliefs, opinions, and stories. Because the mind is heavily conditioned. It's conditioned by culture, conditioned by our memories, by our past experiences, by our upbringing, and it's so deeply ingrained within us that we don't recognize how we are interpreting events based upon how our minds are conditioned. And so if you just have some awareness of your mind, if you start to observe your thoughts throughout your day, notice the stories that you tell yourself, notice the ways that the mind creates judgments and conceptual classifications and definitions of situations. Be aware of this process and realize, again, no concept of reality is reality itself. So let the concept go, let the story go, the stories about yourself, about God, about the universe, and allow yourself to just be present, to be aware of what is here, right now, in this moment. Being aware without projecting the mind. So observing without evaluating, but just being present, open, and aware. And if you can fall into this natural state of presence that is always here when the mind is quiet, you can start to know your true self as this presence, as this awareness, which is not separate from that which it is experiencing. There is no duality between myself and others, or me and the world. It's just a distinction that's created by the mind, by language, by concepts. And when we let those concepts go, we realize the natural, undivided nature of reality. And when we're open to that, when we can feel that, we feel our unity with life, with others, this sense of compassion, of connection, belonging, and wholeness arises within us, within our hearts, and we can act from this place of balance, of understanding, of wholeness, and of love. And when our actions are motivated by love, then happiness comes for both ourselves and for others. Love is the source of all happiness, whereas self-grasping and clinging to the mind and its views of separation is the cause of suffering, because it creates a distinction between what is essentially undivided, which is already whole. We separate ourselves from that whole, and we feel suffering because of it. We start to fear that what we are, and we create barriers that are intended to protect us from harm, to keep us safe, but they just prevent us from being open, from expressing ourselves and being free. So observe your mind, notice the stories that you tell yourself, and notice the way the mind creates judgments, concepts, and it's constantly trying to define and label experience. And when you let that go, and you allow yourself to just be open, alert, aware, then a deeper understanding unfolds. And it's something that is beyond language, but as you begin to experience this deeper knowledge, this deeper awareness, then you gain a greater understanding of your place in the world, and you gain a better understanding of the world itself. So that is what I'd love to share with you today, and just to invite you to practice being aware of how the mind projects and just letting those projections go. So thank you for watching this video. May you benefit from this practice. May you apply it to your life. May you awaken to the essential wholeness within yourself and within all things. Thank you.